hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? Downtown Sea Caves. That's where we are in the Paphos district. And we're dropping down towards the blue Mediterranean Sea. And we're going to take the coast road and we're going to head to Coral Bay. So if your name's David Potter, oh yeah. If your name's James Henry, oh yeah. And if your name's Miss Ali, well actually she's a lady now. And of course there's a man in her life, Sir Neil, and there's a couple of dads. There's Sir Brian and of course Lord Mike. I bet they're getting excited because they understand that the Coral Bay Strip is coming up very, very soon indeed. We're early in the morning and the temperature, if you're curious to know, is 26 degrees and it's just before 9 o'clock. What a spectacality of a day indeed. Please forgive the road surfaces. We are on the back roads, but of course the main roads are, to be honest, even worse. And if you're curious to know what the potholes are, most of them are just manholes, by the way. And now we've got a man in a black BMW that's sticking himself up my bottom. But don't worry, he's decided to overtake us. There you go. He's got his gangster wheels on. But to be honest, your car's not quite as clean as mine. No, it's not shiny. Get to the car wash, young man. Get to the car wash and put your pocket and get 10 euros out. Joggers are in and around Paphos. Of course, at this time of morning, lots of people like to keep fit, especially in and around the sea caves and the Paphos area, just before the temperature skyrockets up to around 29, 30 degrees. And we're in the third week of October, if you're curious to know. Sea caves, wow, what a great place to be. Multi-million euro villas literally everywhere. And of course, they're all sitting on the cusp and the blueness of the blue Mediterranean Sea. Coral Bay Strip's coming up soon, so we'll see what's going on. There'll be a lot of cleaning and all those kind of things, and perhaps the odd person hunting for a breakfast. Perhaps they're going to go to Othello's and see Demetrius and his mum Sue, because they do a great breakfast indeed. In fact, after this video I might pop in there because I am feeling a little bit peckish. Although at the moment I'm doing a bit of Romeo and Julieting, and I'm thinking about Sir Bernard as I la-di-da in downtown Southend. Big shout out to yourself, and of course to the girl in your life, Lady Jan. Hopefully you're keeping well. And a big shout out to the greatest electrician in the world, and of course the greatest accountant, that's Sir Martin, and of course Lady Victoria. Hope you're keeping well. And of course you're coming back to Paphos, not that far really, mate, not that far. And of course you'll be booking into the Dionysus Central Hotel. But I think before you arrive, Lady Andrea and Sir Mart will be checking out the Dionysus Central Hotel. And I think the lady from all the way in downtown Glasgow, of course, if your name's Lady Kirstine, very good morning to you, she's going to be booking into the Dionysus Central as well. And one of these days we're going to pop in there and storm the La Royale restaurant, especially for her. And you never know, we might pop in the hotel as well and perhaps steal a room key and get a sneaky preview of one of the upper floor rooms, which of course will give us a great view out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. Now, Coral Bay's coming up. Yes, what's coming up here now? The Coralia Beach. And that's a great beach, by the way. It's the one just down the road from Coral Bay Beach. Coral Bay Beach is a great beach, don't get me wrong, but most people agree that Coralia Bay is that little bit better. Now, if you're coming from Paphos, for example, on the bus, and the bus number is 615, he's a very frustrated man in his BMW, isn't he? He wants to overtake absolutely everybody. I think he's got a date with a frappe somewhere up the road, perhaps at the Second Cup coffee shop. Let's see if he stops, shall we? So I got a feeling he's just going for a frappe, where people get very frantic in Paphos when they are on the way to go frappeing. Now, coming up here on the right hand side is the Coral Bay Beach Resort, Hotel and Resort to give it its correct name, and that sits on the cusp of the blueness of the blue Mediterranean Sea, and that's probably the best hotel in Coral Bay. But I tell you what, we'll ask Lord Jeremy and Lord Simon from downtown Cardiff, because they stayed there last year and they said that they thought it was the best hotel in the whole of Coral Bay. They've stayed there before, but drop in the comments, Lord Jeremy, Lord Simon, tell us, do you think that that is the best hotel in the world? Well, Coral Bay anyway. We're joining the main Coral Bay thoroughfare, and technically we're on the Coral Bay Strip, I suppose. There's one or two bits and bobs. They're building new villas. There's a medical centre there. You've got, well, there you go. That's the old Payne Boys brothers. Yes, that's where their grandfather had a villa there on the left-hand side. And that's a few years back now. Of course, when he had that bungalow built, villa, it was, well, a lot quieter in downtown Coral Bay. There's no doubt about that. And he was wafting around in his Mercedes 124, and I'll bet he was having the time of his life. And of course, his grandsons had great holidays every summer when they came out. Coral Bay Strip's coming up. So, if your name's David Potter, start your chutchka dancing. That's what you want to do. Angela, she's getting the kettle on because they're living in downtown Paya, and they're here for a couple of months. And of course, we had the great honour and a pleasure to meet them last week, and hopefully they're going to come and see us again in the downtown Paphos Harbour area. If you're looking for us, you'll always find us in the Pelican restaurant from around about 7 to 7:30. What's going on here? Someone's been washing something, and now the car's going to get a bit splattery, so we'll have to go to the car wash. In fact, it's due for a car wash, and I wipe it down every single day 2 or 3 times because we've got this thing called AD, whatever it is. Anyway, there's a few of us got it, isn't it? Yeah, there's a few of us got problems, or as my father used to say, Paul, you've got problems. In fact, you've got more problems than most people have got. And he was probably right. Anyway, Coral Bay Strip, here we are. You want to buy some diamonds, perhaps if your name's, well, Sally Briers, yeah, and there's a man in your life called Sir Matt Dyers. Perhaps we should bring him down here and get him to get that big diamond and pop it on the finger. Andrea's Steak and Seafood Restaurant, Othello's, is coming up. He's got in, what, 1, 2, 3, 3 couples having their breakfast, so it's early at the moment. As we can see, the man going for the frappe didn't get that far, did he? But he's very frustrated. I can see him in his mirror, and he really is frustrated. He's desperate to get a frappe. Now, talking about coffees, I've got one sitting here in the centre console, so I'm going to shut up for a minute and have a quick slurp. That's a nice coffee. And on that note, if you like what you see, well, why not hit that like? The thumbs up button doesn't cost you a penny. Why not subscribe to the channel? Doesn't cost you a penny. But if you want to keep the channel afloat, why not go and hunt us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform? Totally safe, totally secure. Google those magic words, Buy Me a Coffee, Marika and me, and you'll have the opportunity to buy us a virtual coffee, or 2 or 3, or as many as you want. If your name's Dayman and you're the girl in charge of the show, she was very kind indeed, and she bought 10 coffees for Marika and me. And we thank you from the bottom of our 2 hearts. Lady Kirstine, all the way up in downtown Glasgow, she bought us a couple of coffees, and then she decided to join us as a superstar member. Yeah, you can support the channel by buying, I'm dying. It's the Romeo and Juliet in, see? It is, I'm telling the truth. There it is, that's the Romeo and Juliet there. And it's, well, it's gassing me to death inside the Jaguar because the window's up, and it's a little bit chilly. Well, I've got the aircon on. Well, you know, I always have the aircon on. What's the price of benzene? Who cares? Anyway, back to Lady Kirstine, all the way in downtown damp Cardiff. We thank you for those coffees, and then she chose to become a superstar member on the channel, Marika and me. On the Buy Me a Coffee platform, you can support by buying virtual coffees. You can also join us as a superstar at only €10 a month, automatically every month. Those funds will transfer from you to us, and you will keep us driving around, and of course chutchka dancing up and down the downtown Paphos promenade, especially for you. Now, where are we? Well, we're on the main road from Coral Bay towards Paphos, and if you stay on this road non-stop, you're going to end up in the downtown Paphos area, and you're going to hit the Paphos Mall roundabout. The mall will be on the left, and if you take a right, you'll go down to the downtown Paphos Harbour. And of course, it is a spectacality of a morning indeed today. What's coming up next? Chlorakas. Now, Chlorakas is famous for not only having great resorts and 1 or 2 good restaurants, but it's also famous for the CU Beach Bar. So if your name is Sir Daniel Mahoney, and there's a little bit of sweetness in your life, well, a lot of sweetness to be honest, and her name is Lady Sherry Wright. Yeah, she's always right, so always listen to her. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing these 2 superstars hopefully in the spring of the next year, which of course is not far away. CU Beach Bar is one of the best beach bars in the whole of Paphos, and it's had a bit of a refurb, and they put some new decking and all those kind of things out. And one of these days, we're going to go and storm that beach bar, especially for you. And we found out the other day that the guy who owns the Pelican restaurant, his name's Andros, and obviously we're great friends with him because, well, we sit there every single night. But this chap who owns this restaurant, his name is Andros too. And you won't believe it, but that Andros and that Andros are best friends. So guess what? We're going to get access to the CU Beach Bar, that's for sure. You might even have us serving drinks behind the bar. But one thing's for sure, you're going to get a great view as you sit there and sup on a pint or two, or perhaps a strawberry daiquiri. Who knows? Whatever your tipple is, I'll have a coffee, that's for sure. Kisonica Crossroads, that's where we are. Are the traffic lights on red? Well, of course they are, because Lady Andrea has flicked them. There goes Frappe boy. He's gone left, so he's probably going to the Frappe shop just at the top of the hill. Very frustrated indeed. Now he's going to stick himself up the bottom of a lorry. You never know, that lorry might hit that middle pedal and give him a big shock. But what a great day today it is. There's a slight bit of dust in the air again, which has taken away a little bit of the blueness, but the one thing for sure, the sky is still looking pretty blue. The sea, well, you've already seen it once, it's blue. Mr. Paul, guess what? He's dressed head to toe in blue. So all that's missing is you. Want to get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy. Paphos Cyprus, Marika and me, the island of love, is waiting, especially for you. Now, big shout out to some of the guys that watch the show now and again. We've got Nick Brown, he's coming to Paphos very soon, and hopefully you'll accost us in the downtown Cape of Paphos promenade. We've got Lady so sweet Caroline, and of course if she's coming, that must mean Lord Nigel of the Big Guns is coming, and of course the stars in town as we speak, Miss Alison. We are waiting especially for you. Let's let these guys go. Hopefully I don't get a car smacking me up my bottom, but there we are. That's my bit of courtesy for the day. As we see the husband down, the son didn't seem to care about the mum and the daughter, but luckily for them, I did. And luckily for me, I didn't get rammed up the bottom. There we go. What's coming up here? Wraith Coffee Shop at this set of traffic lights on the right hand side. I think it's the best coffee shop in Kisonica, and it's got good parking. And what more can you want? Parking and coffee and a reasonable price. What more can you want? So, downtown Kisonica, that's where we are on a truly spectacality of a day indeed. And I'm going to say, if you like what you see, hit that like, click that subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter madness. And don't forget, click through to that Buy Me a Coffee platform and shoot us that coffee or two, or perhaps consider to become one of our superstar members. Thanks for watching, and of course we'll see you again very soon indeed.